Today we are joined by someone who doesn't just watch sports, they are helping to shape the conversation around it. Simphiwe, the founder of Paddock Viewing Sandton, has quietly built a corner of Formula One community grounded in curiosity, respect, and thoughtful discussion. That's rare. In a world of hot takes, they bring perspective. In a timeline full of noise, they bring value. What I love about their space, they engage in connecting with people who go there, and that's what helps to build community. So, Paddock Porch, pull up a seat, get your water. I don't know if my guest has the water. Let's give a warm Paddock Porch welcome to Simphiwe. Yay! Finally, I get to host you. You have hosted me for years at your venue. Now I have a space that I can host you, and I'm so grateful you found the time from your golfing schedule and your personal life. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to have a chat with you. And yes, indeed, we've known each other for a while. So you've come to our races probably 89% of the time. So it's good chatting to you.
We'll go straight to business today. We are going to start with quick fire, no pit stop. First segment, lights out, let's go. Why Formula One viewing?
I was tired of watching it at home alone, and I wanted everyone to watch it with me.
What challenges have you faced when building this community?
Firstly, it was just about getting the right atmosphere. So obviously, Formula One people are very fussy. And when I say fussy, they literally want to hear and see the Formula One. So we needed to just find venues that specifically had enough TV sets, one. Secondly, also had access to watching Formula One without someone paying, and then make sure that the sound was 100%.
If you could watch only one Formula One race on repeat, which would it be?
I've got two races. The first one is the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. And that is when Lewis Hamilton won the championship. And it literally happened on the last lap. So I enjoy watching that. I've probably watched it 3 or 4 times already. My number 2, unfortunately, is the Abu Dhabi 2021 when they robbed Lewis out of the championship.
Oh my God, that race, I don't want to talk about it. I think I should have like a full episode about that race. It's too much. You want to relive the horror as many times as possible.
Yeah, maybe I can get through
it again. Team principal for a day. Who is your driver lineup? It doesn't have to be on the current grid, but team principal for a day, who is your driver lineup?
Okay, if it doesn't have to be on the current lineup, Adrian Senna, and I'd probably take Lewis Hamilton. If it is with the current driver lineup, it will be Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. As much as I'm a Ferrari fan, as much as I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, Verstappen is just special, guys.
And they work together like in a team, like Lewis and Verstappen in one team. Is that possible?
It's not possible, but if you look at history, champions who have won championships are people who hate the other driver. So it will push both of them. It will push both of them to be the best they can be. That's why I put them together.
Street circuit or traditional track?
It's a tough question. I think in the current year, 2025, 9 street circuits from the 24 races that are happening. So the street circuits bring a different dynamic to Formula One. Street circuits, it's more riskier, and then a full circuit is more entertaining for us Formula One fans because there's a whole lot of overtaking opportunities. I like both of them. I can't choose one because all of them just bring a different dynamic to the race.
South African Grand Prix returns. Who wins?
Obviously, we all hope that Lewis Hamilton is still around and Lewis Hamilton wins. The majority of the people in South Africa, and I say probably the continent of Africa, the majority of people in the continent of Africa are Lewis Hamilton fans. And this is because strictly coming from a diversity type of look. Formula One has been restricted to your more affluent individuals, the people who can afford. And Lewis brought in a whole different dynamic. So a lot of us in the African continent should be rooting for Lewis Hamilton. And if it comes to the African continent again, we'd definitely love to see a Lewis Hamilton win.
At your viewing place, what is your go-to race meal or drink?
Baron in Sandton, they've got this tomahawk steak. So I'm obviously a Zulu guy. I love my meats. They've got this tomahawk steak, literally this big. I enjoy it. It's medium rare with pepper sauce. And then I would have either a beer. I won't mention which beer, but yeah, though that's my go-to meal. And obviously steak, a beer, Formula One.
I love the meat, but your choice of medium rare, no.
How else do you eat steak?
Medium to well.
No, that is biltong. It's not steak anymore. You're eating biltong.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why is it important to build a sustainable F1 community in Johannesburg?
Well, it's two factors for me. Firstly, I think the community has always been there. What has happened previously is that we were not able to gather together and share the space together. Because when I look at it, when I started watching Formula One, I'd probably have 2 or 4 friends who I'm chatting to, either on WhatsApp and talking about Formula One. So we've always had a community. It's just that we had never created a space where we can all come together. And why it's important is because, before, and this is years back, I think the last Formula One in South Africa was in Kalami in 1993. We've always been a country that loves Formula One, a country that's into motorsports. So we're also hoping and crossing our fingers that it comes back again. And the community is key to that, because we need to build an atmosphere whereby when it comes to South Africa, they get to experience the South African culture, the South African way of celebrating Formula One. And it's unique. We've always been unique to every other country in the world.
Yeah, I like that. The Mexico Grand Prix is up next. Top
Mm.
3 drivers from that Grand Prix.
Top 3 drivers. Okay, when we look at the past 3 or 4 Mexican Grand Prix, we've had Max, we've had Carlos Sainz, and we've had Lando winning. When we look at them at the moment, the strong 2 contenders is Max and Lando. I would possibly say this coming Sunday, the winners will be Lando, second place Max, third place is open to Charles Leclerc or Lewis Hamilton. And again, I'm being biased because I'm a Ferrari fan. So I'm always rooting for a podium.
Your top 3: P1 Lando, P2 Max, P3 Charles or Lewis.
Oh.
Let's see. We'll get back to that.
What's your top 3? I'm interested.
So last year Ferrari did well, but watching the US Grand Prix, they didn't do as well as last year. If you had asked me before the US Grand Prix, I would have said a Ferrari win. But now they were playing at P4, P3. So basically, I can't put them on P1. And I know there's this debate about Piastri and Lando. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Lando Drivers' Championship win. I'll put Lando on P1. Then I would put Charles on P2.
Okay.
Then I would put Piastri on P3.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
so that
It's
would
possible.
be that would be my my top 3. But let's see. The favorite question for every Formula One fan this year. That's what we'll end with. Who is winning the 2025 World Drivers' Championship?
It's definitely going to be Oscar. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to kill me about this. So it will be Oscar. Max has a current good run at the moment. Lando's also doing well, but it's going to go back to Oscar. And the reason why I say Oscar, I believe he's got it. And you see it by how McLaren is handling him at the moment. McLaren, for me, what I see and what I've seen is that they've already drawn it up to be a Lando championship, which I believe when Oscar was winning the races and at the moment is currently leading in terms of the points, it kind of jerked them around in terms of what they had planned, and they're trying to put pressure on him to basically take second position. I think after this weekend, there's going to be a switch whereby he says, you know what? I don't care what they say. I don't care what the team orders are. I'm going after it. And I really believe it's a close-up between Lando and Oscar, but I think Oscar will take it.
Okay, we are left with 5 races. Let's see how that pans out. But of course, Lando wants it. Any driver wants it. It's the ultimate goal when you get into Formula One. So let's see. Mexico will also show us how that will go, because if Lando manages to now pass Oscar, now it's another debate. If Oscar wins, now we are sure
it's a different debate.
Yeah. So let's
if
see. If
Max wins,
brings.
it's a different debate.
And Max, I don't know if Max was playing with us, because I don't know where he's getting his space from, or he was in to embarrass Christian or what, because where is this space coming from?
I think it was the internal politics. There was too much happening whereby they couldn't focus on the racing. Now they've settled down. Christian is gone. They've got a Newton principle. So also he's signed the contract for next season as well. So he knows he's there to stay. His sole focus now is driving. And unfortunately for everyone else on the track, Max is amazing. I'm not a Max fan, but wow, that guy can drive. So you can't ignore him. And he's there, and he's gonna put pressure.
You don't even need to be a fan to recognize if somebody is a good driver, because this guy, you just give him a decent car and clean air, no driver is catching him. That's
And
why
that's
you see,
Max.
like when they're starting, when Max gets out in front, they know we are not
They can't
catching
catch
him.
him.
Anyway, it's back to back on the porch today. So next up, we are going to do hot takes. It's simple. Simphiwe, agree or disagree? So hot take number 1, driver academies are killing natural talent.
I agree. And my reasoning is when it comes to any elite sports, when it comes to high level sports, we all peak at different seasons, we all peak at different times. So at a younger age, you have not peaked. So you're literally starting off and then you're good enough for academy, but you have not peaked. And then once you fall off the track, and the driver academies are very strict, they're very rigid. So if you don't hit certain milestones, they'll easily get rid of you. So I agree.
Okay, hot take number 2, F1 media needs a refresh.
Yes, I agree. I've got a problem with F1 media. And there's a whole lot of exciting racing that happens on track that we miss. And then what the F1 media will do or what they will show us, people understand. My biggest problem is when Max or Lando, whoever, who's number one, crosses the finish line, and then they focus on that celebration as opposed to the other competition racing, the racing that is still happening on the grid. And then you get to miss quite a lot of entertaining stuff. And this is if you don't have F1 TV and not subscribe to anything whereby you can look at the recordings again. F1 media does need to kind of improve. I've heard rumors that Apple TV is buying rights, but I think it's only in the USA. I'm not sure.
Yeah, in the US
So
only.
yeah, so they're going to bring in a different perspective to that as well, different angles, different technology. So I just hope the technology gets better, but they need to keep it on track. It needs to be on track excitement.
Hot take number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu isn't a slogan, it's a strategy. Think community, South African community.
Yes. I agree. I'm Zulu, so I grew up with Ubuntu. So it's something that we learn at a young age. And basically what it means is that you can't stand alone. You need your community, you need the people around you. And this goes to, and if you translate this again to motorsports, to Formula One, Max is not a Max alone. And Lewis is not a Lewis alone. You've got your guys, your engineers in the garage, you've got your guys in the manufacturing plants, you've got your guys doing R&D. So it takes a whole community to put together that one specific great thing. Ubuntu it's actually all across the world. It's just that people maybe define it differently or look at it differently, but it's key for every country.
Well, that's a good wrap up of it. So in South Africa, it might be Ubuntu. Somewhere else, it might be something else, and it just means coming together. And this mostly, like right now, when I'm talking to people to join the Paddock Porch, and I'm noticing some young people want to do like content creation, but they don't know where to start or they're afraid. So I don't know if there's an ecosystem in South Africa where other content creators who have done it before can help them. So I don't know if in South Africa there's that Ubuntu in content creation, or somebody just has to push through until they get there. I really like to understand how people live before doing anything, because you don't want to upset the status quo, you don't want to upset the culture. But yeah, I hope there are really content creators who have made it, who are trying to pull others up, because content creation, especially in Formula One in America, people are making a lot of money. I'm not a Gen Z, so that's why I do only conversation content. You won't find me, I don't know, fancy pictures, what. I can't do that. But there are others who can do that. And if they're there, we need to support that. But
This
anyway, I'll learn that with time. And when I become more intentional about going into these communities, is for hot take number 4. F1 is for the elite.
I agree. And I'll quantify that. So the drivers in Formula One, history has shown that if I think about it carefully, there's only 3 drivers who don't come from a background of privilege in terms of finances, as well as families that literally just have the money to do it. So the drivers that I'm talking about, the 2 biggest drivers in Formula One, both don't come from that. So this is Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher. And then the 3rd driver is Alex Albon. But 90% or 95% of Formula One drivers are coming from elite families.
Take number 5, Mohammed Ben Sulayem running for FIA presidency unopposed, signals confidence in his leadership.
I don't think it's confidence at all. So not true. I've been reading up about it a bit. Basically just trying to figure out how the whole structure of the presidency is done. Apparently, it's been restructured in a way whereby it doesn't favor anyone coming from outside. It's more inclined to the current F1 president. There's things that he's gotten wrong. Just to name one, whereby he addressed the drivers when it came to the words that are used while they're racing, their words and stuff. At that time, you've got so much adrenaline running through your bodies. You're thinking about the drive, you're thinking about the speed. Now you need to manage yourself in terms of how you communicate with your team. And it's not your fault as a driver that your radio is available for everyone to hear. I'm a bit sad that there isn't someone who's opposing the position against them.
They actually were saying Sainz Senior was gunning for it, but he dropped out. I don't think he even submitted his name. The recent one, Team Mayor dropped out. He was like, no, I won't push through because I'm seeing the rules are favoring the incumbent. So in December, MBS is running unopposed. So he will be president again for 4 years. That's it for the hot takes. If you have other opinions, which I know you do, please leave them in the comments. I'll pick out something one of the Paddock Porch crew highlighted for me, and they told me they're in Uganda and they were telling me that McLaren are not bringing any more upgrades this season. Do you think that will affect the rest of the season, or that's no problem?
It will definitely affect them. They still currently have the strongest car, I believe. Obviously, followed closely by Max, who's just an exceptional driver. And it's not that the car is amazing. Them not having any upgrades with 5 races left puts them in a tricky position, but it makes sense because they need to focus on the 2026 car. So you can't put a lot of money and effort in terms of upgrades for the season, especially with the new regulations coming through in 2026. It's literally up to the drivers now. They need to maximize those cars.
Simphiwe, thank you so much for your opinion. Thank you so much for your views. Thank you so much for your contribution to the quick fire, the hot takes. Let's push this agenda where we should not just wait for the Grand Prix. How can we benefit before, during, and even after the Grand Prix? Because our people, young people are looking for jobs. They are passionate about motorsport, and you know the African culture. Your parents will tell you have to be a doctor or these fancy things. The next generation doesn't have to be like us. So if they have passion in motorsport, let there be avenues to let them reach there, even if they don't have the funds. As you said, Formula One, you need a lot of funding. If we set up that, our kids will be set up in future if they want to join Formula One or motorsport. Thank you so much, Simphiwe, for bringing amazing energy to the porch. We hope the community will grow and will have one voice, one conversation, one aim, that Formula One needs to work for Africa. Formula One needs to work for South Africans. Formula One has to work for everyone. Remember to follow the Paddock Porch on all my socials. Subscribe on YouTube. Like, retweet, share my content with everyone around you. Get someone, 1, 2 people to do this if you've already done it. Help me to grow the community. Help me to drive conversation, because that is my passion. I need people like Simphiwe to come to my podcast to drive conversations about Formula One, about African fan base in Formula One, and get as many people in it as possible, even if they cannot afford to watch it or subscribe. Let's set up avenues where nobody will have a reason not to watch Formula One. So crew, until next time, this is the Paddock Porch, where we do hot laps, we chat racing, life and family. I'm Shiko. God bless.